it is obviously a new league. But on their social medias, they have been very, very clear that they are following players that have signed on the league. Like, if you look at their Twitter right now, you can see they're following. Originally, it was just like YouTube, Alyssa Thomas, and Naka. That was it. It was like YouTube, AEG Global, Fever Global, and HBS Tweets. It was all of these. But now this is where it gets spooky. It gets spooky. And I mean this, like, I don't know.
The WNBA just cornered Kelsey Mitchell in a trap with no escape. And the silence from Caitlin Clark speaks louder than any statement ever could. This wasn't a minor shakeup. It was a bold, almost ruthless power move. The league drawing a line in the sand, daring the new Project B League to challenge them by blocking one of their brightest stars. Mitchell was forced into an impossible choice, and the message was crystal clear. If this can happen to her, no one is safe. Every fan, every player, every insider has to wonder, what does this mean for the future of women's basketball? And for Caitlin Clark, the game's undisputed queen, her path just became murky, unpredictable, and far more dangerous. The stakes just went nuclear.
Now this is where it gets spooky. It gets spooky. And I mean this, like, I don't know if when it's all said and done, we're going to see all these players in the league. We're going to probably see more. We're going to see more than this in the league, if we're being honest. But I have to say, it's looking like Kelsey Mitchell, Camila Cardoso are guarantees to be in this league, as is Maureen Johannes by the looks.
Then, out of nowhere, Project B appeared, and suddenly the entire landscape of women's basketball felt like it was shifting beneath everyone's feet. This wasn't a casual startup trying to make a name, it was a calculated storm. Their strategy was almost audaciously visible on social media. They began following a select, precise group of players, first just a handful, names like Alyssa Thomas, but anyone paying attention could sense the magnitude of what was unfolding. This was no accident. Every move, every follow, screamed of careful planning. Project B was quietly rounding up stars who had already agreed behind closed doors, laying the groundwork for a massive talent raid. And they weren't hiding it, they were building their dream roster in plain sight, while the WNBA scrambled, blindsided and completely unprepared for the challenge barreling straight at them.
Are guarantees to be in this league, as is Maureen Johannes by the looks of things. It looks like it's going to be Maureen Johannes, Jonquel Jones, Jewel Lloyd, Camila Cardoso. Jonquel Jones is getting that bag, by the way, from she is getting that bag from what's their names? From, oh geez, I'm blanking on their names. I'm blanking, Fenerbahce.
And then it escalated, fast. That tiny roster of players Project B had been tracking suddenly exploded into a constellation of the WNBA's biggest stars. Fan favorites, household names, the very faces of the league, they were all appearing on Project B's radar. This wasn't luck or coincidence. Every follow, every connection was a calculated strike. Project B wasn't just recruiting players. They were challenging the WNBA's authority, sending a clear, almost audacious message: we are here to take your best, and there's nothing you can do to stop us. What began as quiet whispers behind the scenes erupted into a deafening roar. Inside WNBA headquarters, panic must have been mounting. Every new name joining the list was another shot fired, a direct hit in what had suddenly become a high-stakes battle for control over the sport's elite.
I'll be always talking about, like, Valua Yai. Like, if you look at the league, maybe Josite stays there for development. I think Josite's, she's been unbelievable. She's been unbelievable. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see Emma Messman in this league, because she's a mercenary. If you guys don't know about Emma Messman, she will literally play wherever as long as they pay her money. Like, she's not somebody that's like a loyal defender. She's literally a mercenary. other players that I expect her to be in the league. But like Leia Phoebe, she's one of the best players in EuroLeague.
Quickly became undeniable. Kelsey Mitchell and Camila Cardoso were all but sealed for Project B. And make no mistake, these weren't just any players. Mitchell is a bona fide WNBA superstar, and Cardoso is a rising sensation on the brink of stardom. The fact that they were already committed, before a single announcement had even been made, sent a shocking message. Project B wasn't just another league, it had the clout, the money, and the vision to reshape the entire game. For Mitchell, this was a colossal gamble. Her WNBA future was on the line, every career milestone at risk. Yet, she didn't hesitate. The lure of massive paychecks, global exposure, and a chance to perform on an entirely new stage was irresistible. And just like that, the stage was set for an epic showdown between the old guard and the insurgents, Project B versus the WNBA. And the stakes had never been higher.
Be it. But I wonder what's going to happen if Stewie and Fee end up in that as well. Like, I wonder what Angel's doing I wonder what Angel Reese is doing basketball wise. I miss Angel Hoops watching highlights, like, but she's not in Unrivaled. Is she gonna enter Unrivaled? Like, that would have been the funniest thing for Unrivaled. Like, I mean this, they should do like a Royal Rumble. I know they all have their entrance musics for the one-on-one, but it should be like a Royal Rumble, where you play up to 5 points, and whoever enters.
Sources reveal a shocking detail. Under the deal with Unrivaled, Mitchell wasn't even allowed to play the full season. That statement alone speaks volumes, a silent, ironclad rule keeping players tightly controlled, restricting their freedom, and blocking them from chasing bigger opportunities. He paints a clear picture. The established leagues are fiercely guarding their talent, hoarding the best players like gold. And if they treated a smaller, seemingly harmless league with such heavy-handed tactics, you can only imagine the chaos that erupted when Project B arrived, fully armed and ready to challenge their dominance. The collision was inevitable, and it was going to get brutal.
The Unrivaled is just done as a concept, because I'm like, I just don't see how it's I don't see realistically how, when it comes to Unrivaled, it can survive when you've got much better, like a much better league. It's 5v5, there's more people. You've brought in, again, some of the top players already, and you've already brought in the top player in China, the top player in Japan. They've been smarter about it. They've been smarter about it. Like, they haven't pitched their whole thing around.
Whether the block on Kelsey Mitchell came straight from the WNBA or her own team, the Fever, it revealed a glaring flaw in the system. Player freedom is expendable when the league's power is on the line. And for Project B, this was the ultimate recruitment weapon. Suddenly, they weren't just offering contracts, they were offering liberation. Total freedom. Massive paychecks. No strings. What started as a financial battle quickly transformed into a war over control, respect, and the very future of women's basketball. Mitchell was the first domino to fall, but the ripple was global. Project B didn't stop at the US borders. They targeted top talent in China, Japan, and Europe, carefully crafting a roster of elite stars who could dominate every court and captivate fans worldwide. Players like Lai Meng, Mai Yamamoto, Janelle Salawan, and Leo Febic weren't just names, they were power moves, signaling that this league wasn't here to play small. They even went after the mercenary players, the ones who chased the biggest check, offering them exposure, freedom, and a world stage to elevate their careers. Every move magnified the WNBA's misstep in blocking Mitchell, forcing the league's stars into a brutal choice, loyalty or opportunity. And at the center of it all is Caitlin Clark. One player with her influence could tip the balance entirely. Her decision isn't just personal, it could reshape the sport itself. A new era is dawning, one where players demand more control, more money, and bigger platforms. And Clark, without question, is poised to lead the charge.